Okay, so this is the home page, and part of the template that we've set on the home page includes recent announcements. So we've set your home page so that it shows the 3 most recent announcements. I've also put the template, the colors, the banner, the place for the course ID and the course name, the image of UNC as a primary banner, a link to your syllabus, and a link to a page that we're calling More Resources. You can change the content on your syllabus, and you can change the content on More Resources. And then we have these quick links that are part of the homepage that do a quick display of the content. And so if you have 6 or 12 weeks, you'll have 6 or 12 links to each week. When you click on that link, it shows you the content that's in that module. We also included a Start Here module, and this module includes pages and information that are best practices. It's information that you want to provide for your students as a best practice in an online course. And let's go on into a module. We'll start with the Start Here. And it takes me directly to that page. So here we are on the welcome page. And the parts of this page that are part of the template include the banner across the top here. It'll be customized for your course. This navigation, which is a progress bar, actually. You can use it as navigation, or your students can use it just to see where they are in the module. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages in this module. And again, you can click on these and it will take you to that page. You can then also click back to return to where you were. All right, so this is something that you would want to keep. So you want to be careful not to backspace when you're working on editing a page in a way that would remove this. Okay, so that's part of the template. The other part of the template includes these containers, and they always alternate. So this gray background for the first container, and then a white background for the second container, and a gray background for the third container. This is always the intro container, and so the text is a little bit bigger. Of course, this is text you can edit. And then the next container, it begins with this line and the little icon in the center, and then this header. And so those 3 things, the line, the little icon, and the header, are all part of the container, which is part of the template. And so you'll see this repeated throughout, and each container represents some part of your course. Now, in the Start Here module, which is where we are right now, we've created these containers to represent different things, like navigating the course. So this is on the course navigation page. We have put text in here for you. You can edit this text, but it just basically tells your students about this navigation menu right here. Okay, we'll go to the next page. And again, you'll see a repeated theme. You've got your banner, you've got your progress bar, you've got the intro text. So this always changes. It's sort of a pull-out quote style, so that you can put some information here to just introduce what's going on this page. Then you have your container. The first container is this one, is your computer ready? And then you've got all of this text. Another component that we're using in the templates is this header right here. It's an H4. You can set it yourself. We've set it on several occasions. It's a subhead. Okay, it's ADA compliant, the way that it's ordered in the page. And you can just use this to create subsections in your container. All right. And then we have a new container, Canvas Help and Support. And then at the bottom of the module, since we're in a module, at the bottom of the page, we go to the next page. And so here's academic support. And this is just general academic support services and things that are available to students, including the library. And then we have this introduction discussion. So When we get into assignments, we're looking at Canvas tools, and so it's different from a Canvas page, but we still applied the template in the same way. So again, the parts of the template include the banner, the title of the banner, the progress bar, and then the containers. And this container has the line, the icon, and the title. And you can change this title. What you would keep are the icon and the line and the container itself. Okay. All right, so now let's get into a little bit more about the containers and how to work within these containers. We're on the first page, which is the overview. So we want to start with a general introduction. In those overviews, we love, as instructional designers, to see you use learning objectives. So the learning objectives are going to be the objectives, the things that you want your students to be able to know or to be able to do by the time they finish working in this module. These learning objectives really help you focus as an instructor on what content you want to deliver to your students. What do you want to tell them about? What do you want them to read about? What do you want them to practice? And then ultimately, at the end, what do you want them to be able to show you that they have learned in that module? And so that's your assessment. You want all of those things to align with your learning objectives. And so we begin the module with the learning objectives. If you don't have those yet, you can go to this guide. This is the other thing that we've included in the containers, making this a smarter template. We've included guides for you. If you click on the compass, you'll be either connected to a web resource or a PDF resource that will help you with whatever this is. So in this case, this compass link, it opens up a handout, a PDF that you can download talking about writing learning objectives. And it talks about sort of the keywords that you would use with lower order thinking skills, higher order thinking and skills, and the highest order of thinking and skills. So when you write your objectives, think about what you want students to do. It's not just to learn. Learning is good, but learning is difficult to measure. And so your objectives are going to be more like apply or to rate. So you want to think about the words that you use when you write your objectives. Every module begins with learning objectives. And then we have a to-do list, and then we have a planning ahead. So let's take a look at this. We'll open this up and edit. And now you see the same information, but it looks a little bit different, okay? So this is the editing area. This is where you actually go in and make changes or add content. This is your introduction container, your learning objectives container. You've got this guide in here. So when you're finished with it, of course, you can remove this. You can just select it and remove it. Your to-do list container and your planning ahead container. So if you recognize that these are containers, then it's a little bit easier to work with. So if you needed to, you can make changes here. So if you click your cursor right here, then you could change this to a nursing class, for example, and then you can select the number and make it 234, okay? All you have to do is click, place your cursor in here, and then you can do it. If you click in here and hit your delete key and just hold that key, after a while, you're likely to make changes to the template that you didn't mean to make, and delete things that you didn't mean to delete. If that ever happens, the first thing you can do is a Control or a Command Z. You hold the Control key or the Command key, and at the same time, Z. And you can do it as many times as you need to undo what you just did. So that's one way to undo something that you didn't really mean to do, because we want to keep this part. You can make changes here. Now, in your template, the one that we deliver to you, this header right here will match what's right here, okay? You can change both, all right? So if we want this header to match what the students see in the module list, then we'll just change this. We can say whatever we want here. Just select it, start typing, week 1, introduction, okay? You don't want to put a lot of text in here because when you do, it makes this much bigger than maybe you want to do because you've got all of your content is down here. All right. And odd things can happen. So you might want to try to keep your headers, your very top level headers, try to keep them as simple and straightforward as you possibly can. All right, and then we go into the introduction. Now the text has already been set here. I would recommend, again, not trying to get fancy. We just want to be simple, clear, clean here. So you don't have to change the font size. You could make it bold if you wanted to. You could make it italic if you wanted to. But it's really nice as it is here. And it's simple, it's clean, it's very clear. So whatever you want to say. And then your learning objectives. And if you don't want to do these, then go ahead and select and delete these. All right. If you want to do them, it's a bulleted list for you. So you can just add those in there. Or you can copy from another document and paste them. So there are several ways to do it. If you want to get rid of the entire container, the best way I can think to do this is to just go ahead and delete. But the best way to delete in this case is to not hold down your delete key too long. When you get to the point where you're about to delete the whole container, then just do that. So if I did 3 or 4 or 5 times, I'd also be deleting this container, which is not necessarily what I want to do. Okay, so it's just a matter of deleting. Using your delete key or selecting content. It's sometimes easier to just use your delete key because you can control that. So if that's not what I want it to do, again, I can do Command Z and everything's going to come back for me. Okay, the other way that I can do that, let's say that I wanted to come in here and delete the to-do list, which I don't recommend, but oh, okay, so I've done it and now I go ahead and do my planning ahead and then I think, oh, I actually could use a to-do list. I might have to redo some work in this case, but one option that I have to get something back, if I've deleted it and then changed my mind, is to just click on cancel. And if I click on cancel, I'll say okay, and then I'm going to get back the guides and everything else. Now, that means that I might have to redo some work, but that's one way to go about it. The other thing that you should know is that all of these pages are wikis. And so if you go up here to these 3 dots, click on this, you can view your page history and you can restore a version of this page. So keep that in mind as well. You can always restore things if something weird happens. You can try at least to restore some older versions of what you've been working on. All right. Okay, so that's how you work inside of the containers that we've provided for you in this template. And remember that these smart guides that we've provided you are about helping you to, in this case, display files on a page. When you're talking about asynchronous content, you might be talking about a PowerPoint presentation, for example. And so if you go to this guide, then it's going to open for you a guide on how you use the rich content editor. If you go through this step by step, you see that it opens up right next to the page. So I can't do that in this video, but I could pull this off and put it in a different place so that I can be looking at it right next to my page. You're not able to see that because I'm just looking at this browser. Let's go down here. I've got PowerPoints and I've got some PDFs that I want to put in readings. I have a different page for that. But I don't have any video or any podcast. And so am I stuck with this stuff? Is this just going to be here on my page? And the answer is no, it's not. So you go into Edit and open this up again. And now we know we want to keep the lectures, but we're not interested in these podcasts. So I'm just going to backspace. I'm just going to keep backspacing. I'm going to remove that container. You saw how when the line and the icon disappeared, it really popped up. It really took the whole container out. Okay, and I can actually select this stuff and delete, select this image and delete, backspace. select all of this, delete, okay? So I don't have to just use the delete key. What I want you to know about the delete key is that it allows you to delete slowly. Okay, I don't know if you can hear that, but that way I'm not going to end up deleting content that I actually really want to keep. Okay, so I'll go ahead and save this. Okay. All right, so let's go to the next page. This is a Zoom meetings page, and we've created these subheaders for you. So how do you use the subheaders? If we've created them for you on your page, then you'll be able to work with the subheader just like this. You can just change this if I really want this to say subject instead of topic, or whatever I want to do. If I don't want this here, then I can just select it and delete it. Okay. If I change my mind about that at some future date, let's say that I just take that out, and I put the meeting right there, and I think I want another subheader. I can type it in, select that text, and then go right up here. And within this template, this subheader is header 4. You click on that, and there you've got your subheader. Okay. And then when I return, I should be able to put my other text up there. So you can work in this. You can insert an image here. If I want to say image of the earth. Okay. Put this here. I can go up here to my images, and I can go out to Flickr to find some free images. I can do a search for earth, and I can put an image of the earth, update it, and now I have an image of the earth there. Okay. So this page is not about inserting images. This page is about Zoom meetings. So the guides on this page are about best practices for creating Zoom meetings and how to start a live Zoom meeting. Go to the next page. This is the discussion. This guide is going to bring you to how to create a discussion. Okay. So the last thing that I want to show you, go into modules, and I will show you how to work with an assignment. So the assignment icon right here indicates an assignment. This one's a quiz. This one's a discussion. So we'll open up this assignment. And same exact thing. You've got different containers for different types of assignments. You can keep them or you can remove them. What you wouldn't be able to do is to create a different icon here. But if you really needed a different icon than what we've provided for you here, you could email us and we can work with you to customize it a little bit further. But mostly we're trying to give you a standard template with standard containers that you can use and make them smart, give you some guides on how to do these things. And then, once we get going, then we can help you customize these further if that's something that you need. On the assignment, when you go into edit, you do have the presentation of content here, so you can decide which one works best for you. And then you can come down here and work on the assignment with the points, with how the assignment should be submitted, whether it should be submitted online through a file or through text entry. If you're doing Vericite to check for plagiarism, then you can use that. That's a submission type. All of this is explained in these guides, okay? And again, you would get to these guides. You get to these guides from this view because this is where the link is active. Click on that, it'll open up for you. You can pull it off to do a side-by-side, or you can just move back and forth. All right. Thank you very much for viewing. I hope everything goes well for you. And thank you also for all that you do for our students.